death of me. There we go. When my daughter was barely walking, I'm very systematic, very OCD. And when we go into the mall, I'm like, you have to have a system when you go shopping. We always turn to the right. So as small as she was, always go to the right. So when you come out of a store, I don't care if Disney's over there, we go to the right. Come out, you go to the right. Because if you start going back and forth, then you don't, especially if it's a new mall, you don't know where you're going to end up. And you're like, okay, which way was I going? Especially if you're not familiar with it. But if you always go to the right, then when you come out and you're like, oh, I've been to that store, then you know where you started and you don't have to think about where did I come in at. So when I started dating my husband, my current husband, not my baby daddy, but my current husband, he's a big fisherman and hunter, and so he took me and my daughter shopping, and he saw like Bass Pro. I'm like, Even my daughter said, no, JoJo, we do not go anywhere other than to the right. You got to go to the right. So I always have like a method to my madness when I do anything. So I love systematic. It's got to have some kind of pattern. So we are now, oh, and then convenience is, let me draw a little food stand. Let's draw a little person. I don't know what they're cooking, but they're cooking something here. And let's say, hey, there's convenience sampling. All right, so this is under page 34, 11 and 24, if you want to look in your book. Now that I know y'all have the stinking answers, I'm not going to ask. We have the 4 type up there, and I also have them written here. Simple, random, stratified, systematic, cluster, and convenience. You know that you're going to have 2 like this on your test. Okay? To determine the prevalence of human growth hormone, HGH, use among high school varsity baseball players, the State Athletic Commission randomly selects 50 high schools. All members of the high school's varsity baseball teams are selected. So which of these 5 do you think we're doing? How do you think that they're choosing? Now, I have so many people that see the word random and they automatically say, oh, this is simple random. Just because it has the word random in it does not make it simple random. Okay? So, raise your hand if you think it's simple random. Now that I poo-pooed that answer. Does anybody have any guts of what they think it is?
Cluster.
Okay, I heard a cluster. Stratified. Spook. Systematic. Oh, I'm getting them all. Okay, so we have 50 high schools. All members of the selected high schools are tested. So they're telling me that we take these high schools. So this represents my 50 high schools. I'm putting them in classrooms. Now this is Hartsville High, this is Darlington High, this is Lamar High, this is Florence High, whatever. There's my 50 high schools. Now, I'm going to pick some high schools. So if I test Hartsville High, am I testing all of Hartsville High or a few from Hartsville High? All members of the selected high schools are tested. So if I pick your high school, I am testing everybody at your high school. So if your high school is getting picked, you're screwed. What am I? Now, had it said, if your high school is picked, 20 students are tested, then it would be stratified because your high school's picked, 20 of your high school students are going to be tested. That will be stratified. See the difference? A member of Congress wishes to determine her constituency's opinion regarding estate taxes. She divides them into 3 income classes. Okay, what is that screaming to you? 3 income classes. classes, classrooms. So we're going to draw classrooms. We have a low classroom, a medium classroom, and a high classroom. She takes a simple random sample from each income. Again, some of y'all are going to half-ass read it and say, oh, simple random. Just because it has the word in there does not mean it's there. You are dividing the population into 3 classrooms. Once I divide it into 3 classrooms, what am I going to do next? Am I choosing all of this? I am going and taking a simple random sample. So that sample, does that mean that I'm choosing the whole thing? If I'm choosing the whole thing, what would I call it? And what's another word of choosing all of it? Population. So if I was choosing that whole thing, I would be choosing the population of that classroom. But I'm choosing a sample, and we now know that a sample means like a subset or a part. So they're telling me that I am choosing a sample of the classrooms that I'm choosing. So what is this one going to be? And y'all, when you do this homework, you got to be in the right mind. If you are not totally focused, shut the computer down and come back later. If you're thinking about something else, you've got to be focused on this or it's not worth it. A survey regarding download time on a certain website is administered on the internet by a market research firm to anyone who would like to take it. If you're feeling froggy and want to call me, that would be convenience. I didn't pull out your name and call you. That would be simple random. I just said, you call me if you want to and give me your information. I ain't doing jack. That's convenience on me. This guy stands outside the auditorium before a lecture begins and hands every 5th person who arrives, beginning with the 3rd person, a speaker evaluation survey to be completed and returned at the end of the program. Whatever. 24-Hour Fitness wants to administer a satisfaction survey to its current members using its membership roster. The club randomly selects 40 club members and asks them about their level of satisfaction. Simple random. So notice that even though almost every single one of them had the word random or simple random, does not mean that it's simple random. You've got to thoroughly think about it. Okay, frame. One of your homework problems talks about frame. Frame is a list of all the individuals within the population. So, if I said my 120 math class, is the population. Y'all are my class. Y'all are all of my students. Then the frame would be student 1's name, student 2's name, student 3's name, student 4's name, student 5's name. That would be the frame, me listing all of your names. That's just some, there's like one question on homework, y'all. Nothing to get your panties in a wad about. Did you see on this list where I said, discuss what a frame means? No, I'm just helping you out with the homework. Okay, with and without replacement. There's a thing in your homework that talks about with and without replacement. If I said I gave you 5 cards and I said pick one and then pick another. And then I said I give you 5 cards, pick one, put it back in, and then pick another. One of those is with replacement and one's without replacement. So if I have 5 cards numbered 1 through 5, and you pick a card, you now have 4 cards to pick from. But if I have 5 cards and you pick a card, and you put it back in, you have 5 cards to pick from. Y'all with me?
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure you know the difference. When it says with replacement, that means after you pick it, you put it back in. That's with replacement. Without replacement means you pick it, you put it in your pocket, and then you pick again. So you just have 1 less to choose from. All right, now let's look at some homework because I haven't shown you any homework yet. There's 3 particular problems that I thought were kind of tough. So I'm going to log into mine so that I don't mess hers up. Mine may look like yours or may not. I just wanted to see yours straight from the student's perspective. Okay, so we haven't touched the homework button yet, so we're getting ready to look at that. So we go to content, and then we come over here and we click on the button that says homework. Right here, homework. And then right here it says homework. So it's homework, homework. And for those of you who have used my math lab before, when it wasn't in D2L, this looks the same. Okay, so before you can touch any of the real homework, these first 2 assignments are due by Friday at midnight. No, Friday at 10 a.m., sorry, Friday at 10 a.m. So, these will take you less than 5 minutes. You click on the first one and I'll kind of show you what it looks like. You click on the first one, and if you try to click on anything else, it won't let you, so make sure you do those first 2. The first one is 7 questions. And it basically says, I agree to everything that this lady talked about the first day. I agree that she has given me everything out there in D2L in my math lab and my stat lab. I agree she's given me everything and that I have to do everything that she said. Now, there's 3 choices. I've read and agreed, or I do not agree, or I have a question. So, if you answer, I do not agree, you're going to get it wrong. And you're going to have to try again. If you hit I have a question and I need to talk to her, you're going to get it wrong. And you're going to try it again. If you say I have read and I agree to everything she says, you get it right. And I left them, and I want you to read them though, but I've left them all in that order. I understand, I do not agree, or I have a question. So you say I agree that I'm responsible for my own learning and that I can't put it off on everybody else. I agree that I need to come prepared for class. I agree that I've got to do my homework. I agree to whatever else this says. I understand that blah, blah, blah. And the last one is choose the smiley face. And again, if you get it wrong, you just do it again until you get it right. And this, y'all, is one of your 31 assignments that you have to do. And it does count towards your grade. Now, don't keep hitting similar exercise. You just hit save that you're done. See that you have your all checks. If you happen to miss something, you click back on that one question and redo that one question until you get 100. So you can see that you have your 100, you go to the next one. This one is 12 questions. It's making sure that you are familiar with my math lab, my stat lab. Now, I'm going to show you how easy it is. Notice, there's nothing to do, y'all. And it's getting you used to all the parts. Just keep hitting continue. There's no reason to do anything until it tells you to do something. It says type the number 1 in the answer box. So y'all, I didn't read any of that crap right there. Type the number 1 in the answer box. Check answer. Good job. There's nothing to do. Continue. Type the number shown in the pop-up. Click here to view your answer. This is making sure that your computer does not have a pop-up blocker on, because you got to turn your pop-up blocker off. So this is making sure. Now your answer may not be 3, it may be something else. So I type the number 3 in, check answer. Now when it says similar question, that means you're done with that problem. Don't do similar question again, because you got to do the whole thing again. You're ready to go to number 2. We already had the smiley face. I'm not doing that one again. Don't do similar question. Go to number 3. Now, this one says pick more than one. One of more can be correct. Is 1 plus 2, 2. 1 plus 1, 2. 1 times 2, 2. 2 minus 2 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So you check all the ones that are correct. More than one can be correct. So you would check 1 plus 1, 1 times 2. They're just showing you that more than one answer can be correct. So you go through, similar question, that means I'm done with that problem. To be correct, it must be, to get answer, it must be correct. You go through and you answer all these little questions. This is saying that you got to pick it up and move it. If you miss it, it's no big deal. You just keep going and redo that one. Stop it. Redo that one question until you finish all of the little questions. Just redo it. Now, if you have a question, there's this button right here that says question help. Oh, that one doesn't do it. Let me find one that does it. But you go through, and y'all, this one, everybody makes it harder than it is. It says the result of adding the numbers is blah. All they want you to do is add up all these numbers in the calculator and put the answer right there. All right, so you're going to answer all 12 questions, hit save. And once you do that and see all your little check marks, and if for some reason your computer goes off or your child unplugs it or there's an electrical storm, you don't have to hit save. It automatically saves it. If it just makes you feel better to hit save, that's okay, but you don't have to hit save, okay? Now, this is your real homework. Your first test is on chapters 1 through 4. So I went ahead and put chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and chapter 4 homework out there. Notice that those do not have a due date. The only thing that's due are those first 2 assignments that I talked about. The rest, I am not going to put a due date until we get close to the end of chapter 4, and then I'm going to make all of 1 through 4 due at the same time. So you can work, like you can do what we've already done, you can work ahead, you can come back, you can work on anything that's open right now, but those 2 have to be done by Friday. Yay? All right. A couple that I said I wanted to work on. 1.3, number 5 I wanted to look at. And I am going to suck it over into my notes to make it bigger so that y'all can see it. Copy. Hopefully it won't be fuzzy. Add. Paste. And then let me get the rest. Where am I going? I'm going there. And now, this is from 1-3. Was anything in 1-3 on your test? No. So I am just showing you this to help you with your homework. Oh, I didn't need all that. I just need the bottom part. I just need that. All right. Copy. Paste. Delete. Move down. All right. And then click. This was just a little confusing for some people, so I just want to make sure that you understand what it's asking. this is 1.3 homework, number 5. It says a community college employs 88 full-time faculty members to gain the faculty's opinions. The college president wishes to obtain a simple random sample that consists of 9 faculty members. He numbers the faculty from 1 to 88. Complete parts A and B. Using the provided number table, so I had to click here to get that number table. And everybody's problem is going to be different. So, I clicked here to give me this. The president closes his eyes and drops his ink pen on the table. It points to the digit in row 3, column 6. Row 3, column 6. What number do y'all see in row 3, column 6?
A 9.
Row 3, column 6. Do we see a 9? Yay? Using this position as the starting point and proceeding downward, determine the numbers for 9 faculty members who will be included in the sample. This is where it gets a little confusing. So, what do you think the first faculty member's number is going to be?
2.
Who?
2.
Anybody else?
I think it'll be 2, 2.
Hold on, let me find my... Well, you're going from 1 to 88, and so they're going to be, the first number, we're starting at the 9, is 96. That's the first faculty member's number. I know, this is why I'm showing it to you. Now, can we use 96?
No.
Why?
It's not, between 1 and 88.
It has to be between 1 and 88. You with me? So 96 cannot be used because it's not between 1 and 88. So it says proceed downward. So the next faculty member is going to be 24. Can we use that number?
Yes.
The next faculty member is?
60.
The next faculty member is?
50.
Hold on.
I think it was 97.
It is 97. I had to write a little too big. Let me highlight. That may be better. Okay, 24, then 60, then 97. Can 97 be used?
No.
No. So okay, then we go to the next. So what do you think the next one's going to be?
11.
30. 13?
Maybe 36. Oh, it was 34.
34.
23, 21, 50. Can't use 92.
Right.
65. So how many do we have right now? We couldn't use that one. We have 1, 2, can't use that one. 3, 4, 5, 6, can't use that one. 7. Y'all with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so where do we go now?
84. 28.
28
26.
and 26. So we could not use 96, we could not use 97, and we could not use 92. Because they were not between 1 and 88. So that's what I put in this first one. 24, 60, 34, 23, 21, 50, 65, 28, and 26. Yay? Now, the second question says, the president uses technology to produce the following random numbers. I'm like, well, didn't they freaking just do it?
Seemed like it.
To get the second answer, they want it with no repeats. So we type it in 24, 60, 34, 23, 21, 50, 65. Is there any repeats?
No.
Okay, then that one should be the same.
What's different?
20, 24, 85, 73, 37. Oh, I didn't show you this problem. This is the one the president, I showed you that without showing you this. This is what the president gave me. He said, okay, the technology gave me this. Determine the non-faculty members that will be included. So, I did 20, 43, 85, 73, 37. I did not include the 43 because it was a repeat.
Yeah.
67, 29, 70, and 63. So they wanted you to take out the repeats. And if it was over 88. Is 1.3 on your test?
No.
So we should breathe. Okay. Another one that I wanted to show, and y'all, if you get on your homework and you say, holy crap, I don't remember a thing she just said, you can come up here to question help. And my favorite thing is view an example. If you click on view an example, what it's going to do is it's going to walk you through a similar problem. Like, look, there's the 97. And it's going to show you then goes 93, then it goes, it explains it through it. So you can use that, you just can't use it on a test, but you can use that. Now there's one more that I want to show you, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. It says list all possible 3-course sections. So, this is number 4. These are the courses that you can choose from. And it says, what are all the possible ways that I can take 3 courses out of this one? How would you do that? I could do this, this, and this, right? That's 607, 680, and 682. Where's that? 607, 680, and 682. Right there. So I check that one. Then I could do this one, and this one. Then I could do this one, and this one. Yay?
You just can't repeat, right?
Right. You can't do So I could do, let me copy. Copy. Get rid of, extend page. 1.3 number 4. Paste. Make bigger. So we could do 607, 680, and 682. That could be an option. Boop, boop, boop. Then we could do 607, 680, and
660.
let me write them out here so I can read them actually. 682, 660, and 643. And 660. Then we could do 607, 680, and
643.
okay, let's go to some more. What if I did 607, 682?
643.
643. Or 607, 682, and
660.
so I have to have that systematic. I have to have that method to my madness. I did 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 down, 1, 2 down. And then I skipped this one and I said 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 down. And then I'm going to skip to the bottom 2. And then I'm going to take the first one out and then I'm going to come down. You with me? Then I'm going to take that one out and then I'm going to come down. But I can't have any repeats. I can't use the same one twice. And I'm going to list all the ones that I can list. Make sense? And let's say there were 8 of them. And it says, what are the chances that I get this one? What would if there were 8 listed, what would the chances be that I get that one? 1 out of 8. There were 3 of them. What are the chances that I will get that one? 1 out of 3. We're doing probability now. All right, last one I want to look at. And these are the ones that I just thought were kind of hard.